Disclaimer: this video may contain flashing lights or strobing effects. If you suffer from seizures or any other similar health concerns, please consult your doctor before watching this video. Also, the viewpoints expressed in this video are my own, based on my own experiences as a disabled gamer and accessibility consultant. There will undoubtedly be areas of accessibility or disability I may overlook, as I do not have that specific lived experience, but feel free to input your accessibility related concerns for the game that I may be unaware of in the comments below.
Whoa! What the hell, brother? What was that?
Something strong and dangerous. Be on guard.
Oh yeah, being all the way on guard.
Hello everyone, Accessibility Gamer here, looking forward to showcase how color contrast can greatly improve accessibility. Originally, this video was going to be a video covering the accessibility features, but after finding out that even with the accessibility features that were described, I still would not be able to play the game due to insufficient color contrast of the menus and a lack of streamer support, which would allow me to work around that problem. I was so disappointed that I would be unable to play the game I've been waiting years to play that I decided instead to switch my approach and talk about how color contrast, a very basic and simple metric, can greatly improve a game's overall accessible design. In this screenshot, you are able to select the difficulty level of your game, so I would assume that this is at the very start of the game. However, there are certain difficulties for gamers with low vision in this section of the game that, depending on their visual acuity, would require someone else to read the screen for them. I myself, as someone with 20/80 visual acuity, am able to read most of the screen, but there are two sections where I am not able to read properly because of the lack of contrast. Whatever is under here for action and adventure is one of the two items I am unable to read. I know something is there, but I cannot make it out because it is not bright enough to stand out against the background. The same can be said for the section under playstyle. I can tell something is there underneath it, and while it is a little bit easier to read, I have to really get my face into the screen to read the text, and that is not ideal. I should not have to force myself or jump through extra hoops to be able to read a game in order to play it, especially since games nowadays are $70 when for over 20 years they were much lower in price and therefore more affordable. The following is a section I've talked about before, but I will revisit it. As you open up the combat menu, there are several things that stand out, and some that do not. For example, I can see the 36 seconds displayed on the screen. I assume that this may be a reference to a cooldown option, but I don't know for sure if it is related to cooldown or if it's related to something else because I cannot read the text beside it, again due to a lack of contrast. Also, the word stagger stands out, but just the word stagger is confusing to me because I don't know the context that it is referring to, since whatever is next to it cannot be read properly. For this screen, I can read the two title tags at the top, but whatever is beneath that, I am unable to read because again, the contrast is not high enough. And that is a running theme from what I have seen of the game, and it is something that really should not have been much of an issue, because when you design a product, the very first thing you do is consider what colors you want to use. And there are tools out there that allow you to check the readability of something depending on what colors you are going to use for both the text and the background. Color contrast and readability is the simplest and most basic metric that you can get done. As you start it, when you are first building the product, regardless of whether you're working on a video game, a website, or mobile app, or any other project. A solution to color contrast issues would be to add a screen reader, as this would allow you to overcome the inaccessibility caused by low contrast issues. Overall, while there will be people who will be able to play the game due to the accessibility features that have been implemented, low vision gamers such as myself who have similar visual acuity to my own, or worse, will be left out because a role-playing game can be very intensive when it comes to reading screens. And I can't speak for anyone else, but I know I'm not going to spend $70 on a game that requires giving myself a headache trying to read the screen and menus in order to play. Instead, that money would be better spent towards games that I can read, such as Metaphor Refantazio, which got the color contrast right and allows for a great user experience that does not result in me having headaches or eye pain from trying to read their screens.